Grim Tale Teller, where dark tales rise from the shadows. Step into the unknown. It's late. The kids are asleep, and the babysitter's alone in a quiet house. The phone rings. She picks up, expecting the parents. Instead, a low, raspy voice whispers, "Have you checked the children?" She laughs it off, probably a prank. Then it rings again, and again. Each time, the same chilling question. When she finally checks, her blood runs cold. The call's coming from upstairs. Welcome to the terrifying legend of the babysitter and the man upstairs. This urban legend took root in the 1960s, a time when babysitting was a teenage rite of passage and rotary phones were in every home. The story's simple but bone-chilling. A young babysitter, alone with sleeping kids, gets a call from a stranger asking, "Have you checked the children?" At first, she thinks it's a joke. But the calls keep coming, more insistent, more sinister. When she contacts the police, they trace the call and reveal it's coming from inside the house. She flees just as footsteps creak upstairs. Some say the tale started as a warning to young babysitters. Stay vigilant. Don't get distracted. Others tie it to real-life fears of home invasions, especially in the 60s when suburbs felt safe but weren't. No one knows the exact origin. Maybe a news story, maybe a campfire tale. But it spread fast. Teens whispered it at slumber parties, each version creepier than the last. In some, the babysitter escapes with the kids. In others, she's not so lucky. The story tapped into a primal fear. The danger's not outside, it's already in your home. By the 1970s, it was a cultural touchstone, inspiring horror movies like When a Stranger Calls. But what happens when the legend feels too real? Let's dive into a night no babysitter could forget. Picture this. It's 1968, a quiet suburb in Illinois. A 16-year-old babysitter, let's call her Sarah, is watching two kids. The parents are out. The house is dark, and the phone rings. "Have you checked the children?" a gravelly voice asks. Sarah hangs up, annoyed. Kids prank calling, she thinks. But the phone rings again. Same voice, same question. Her stomach twists, but she brushes it off. By the third call, she's shaken. "Stop it!" she snaps, slamming the receiver down. Uneasy, she checks on the kids, sound asleep. But the phone keeps ringing, now every few minutes. Finally, she calls the police. They tell her to keep the caller talking while they trace the line. Minutes later, the officer's voice cracks through. "Get out now. The call's coming from inside the house." Sarah grabs the kids, bolts out the door, and hears heavy footsteps descending the stairs as she escapes. Police later find an empty upstairs bedroom, a window ajar, and no trace of the caller. This version, told and retold, fueled the legend's spread. Some say the man upstairs was an escaped patient, others a vengeful spirit. Every town had its own spin, but the fear was universal. Someone's watching, closer than you think. Even today, babysitters double-check locks after dark. Ever wonder who's really on the other end of a late-night call? The legend lives because it feels like it could happen to anyone. Why does the babysitter and the man upstairs still haunt us? This legend isn't just a scare. It's a warning carved into our fears. In the 1960s, it told teens to stay sharp, to never assume the suburbs were safe. That eerie voice on the phone asking, "Have you checked the children?" It's every dread of being watched, of danger lurking where you feel secure. The story's power is its simplicity. An ordinary night, a routine job, shattered by one call from inside the house. It shaped the horror we know today. Films like When a Stranger Calls and Halloween pulled from this tale, turning quiet homes into traps. The legend endures because it feels real. Every creak, every unknown caller makes you wonder, what if the threat's already inside? Who is the man upstairs? A criminal, a ghost, or a twisted prankster? Its vagueness lets our minds conjure the worst, keeping it alive in late-night whispers and campfire circles. Even now, the story lingers. When your phone rings after midnight, don't you pause. The babysitter's terror lives in those moments, tapping into our fear of the unknown. It's not just a story, it's a reminder. Danger can be closer than you think. The next time you're alone, listening to the silence, you might hear it. A faint ring, a subtle creak. The man upstairs could be waiting just out of sight. For now, this grim tale fades, but the shadows never truly leave us. Another grim tale ends. Like, subscribe, share your scares below, and stay spooky.